Last week I talked about wanting to be more positive on my YouTube channel because it's gotten a little negative over the course of the past year or so, so that's exactly what I'm going to do today. Alright, so if you guys watched my vlog last week, I kind of got to the root of why things have become a little bit more negative on my channel and why I've been getting some pushback from some of my longtime channel viewers who used to remember me as just being totally positive or completely neutral when reviewing different hearing aids and technologies like that. But over the course of the past several months to maybe year or so, things have been going in a little bit more negative direction, in particular in this vlog, and I made a promise or a commitment last week that I'm going to kind of turn things around. I'm going to become a little bit more positive, or rather a lot more positive, or try to focus more on positivity on this channel in general. And I'm happy to say that I have a really positive video for you guys today, but I have to give you guys a little bit of context so this makes sense. So when I started making these YouTube videos, I quickly realized that the message that I was putting out there was going to hopefully benefit a lot of individuals, and I came to the realization that not all of those individuals, in fact, very few of those individuals would ever come see me in my clinic. So I made sure that the way that I was explaining things on the channel wasn't to try to drive people in to see me at Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, but I was trying to get people to become more educated and aware of what their expectations should be from a quality of care standpoint, no matter where they went to receive their hearing care. And that message was so well received that I actually had to start a network of hearing care professionals who were committed to following the things that I was talking about on my YouTube channel, mainly best practice audiologic care. And so here we are 2.5 years into my career, and I have people calling me from all over the United States and all over the world asking me where they should go to receive hearing health care, and at the time I really had no idea. So the way that I could become comfortable with referring these individuals to a hearing care professional was to start a network of professionals who've gone through a vetting process, so I feel comfortable referring these patients to them instead of recommending that they fly out to see me in Phoenix, Arizona. Well, here recently, I'm talking on Cinco de Mayo of 2026 here, I got a really nice message or an email from someone who had gone to a Hearing Up Network member. So I want to share that positive story with you guys here today. And let me start by reading the email. And excuse me, I have to grab my laptop because it's a somewhat lengthy email. I'll get through it here as quickly as I can. All right, for privacy purposes, I'm just going to call this individual Mark. So Mark says, "Hi, Dr. Cliff. I wanted to take a minute to thank you. Over the past 7 years, I bought 3 different sets of hearing aids. The first was from a private practice, the second was from an ENT clinic, and the third was from Costco because everyone kept saying, just go to Costco. Every provider I saw told me that the newest technology would finally solve my hearing problems. Each time I was excited and hopeful. Each time I ended up disappointed. Whenever I went back because I was still struggling, I was reassured that I already had some of the best hearing aids in the world and that they were performing exactly as they should. I started thinking maybe this was simply the best hearing I was ever going to get. I avoided restaurants, family gatherings, and even stopped going to church because pretending to hear was just too exhausting. Then I found your YouTube channel. Instead of telling me to buy another pair of hearing aids or fly in to see you in Arizona, you kept talking about finding a local provider who followed best practices. So I decided to give one of your Hearing Up Network members one last chance before giving up on hearing aids altogether. My Hearing Up provider completed everything on your best practices checklist, things that had never been done at any of the other places I had been. And they spent significantly more time with me to ensure all of my questions were answered. They also performed real-ear measurement like the other clinics did, but this time it felt like someone who truly knew how to use them to maximize my hearing instead of just running them to say they did. By the end of my very first appointment, I was hearing significantly better than I ever had with any of my previous providers. Today I wear hearing aids all day, enjoy going out with friends again, and actually look forward to family gatherings instead of dreading them. Thank you for creating Hearing Up and helping me find a provider who finally changed my life. I know that you take a lot of criticism on the internet, but in my opinion, what you're doing is saving people's lives. Please continue to do what you do and ignore the naysayers. Mark." As I read that email, it totally reminds me why I started this YouTube channel. I did not start this YouTube channel to try to drag people down or make providers feel bad about themselves or criticize big box stores or other corporately owned clinics that are out there. I started this YouTube channel for people like Mark, for individuals who are just struggling with their hearing treatment and they don't really know what to do next. And I like to think that whether this individual came in off of my positive content or off of my negative content, that he just got the answers that he needed regardless. And I know that everybody has a different entry point, but I'm just really happy to see stories like this. And to be quite honest with you, this is just one of many that I have. In fact, maybe I'll do a series for you guys for all of the positive comments that come across for people who were struggling with their hearing treatment that are now having massive success with their hearing treatment. The thing that stood out to me the most about Mark's story here is that he didn't have to come see me in order to get these positive results. And that is exactly what I intended for my channel back when I first started it. I'd like to see that everybody who has hearing aids, no matter where they get those hearing aids from, that they have a lot of success with those hearing aids. Because I was once told by another audiologist when I had only been an audiologist for like a year, and this individual said, Cliff, if everybody loved their hearing aids, the hearing aid adoption rates would go through the roof, meaning that there would be more patients than any of us would know what to do with, because everybody who asked their friends about their hearing aids or family about their hearing aids, they would all say, I love my hearing aids, go get yourself some hearing aids. There wouldn't be a stigma about it. There wouldn't be this question of whether or not they're too expensive or whether they work or not. Everyone would just be extremely happy to treat their hearing loss because they know that they were going to get exceptional care along the way and that they were going to be able to hear their absolute best. When you look at the numbers, there are way more individuals who are super happy with their hearing aids than there are individuals who do not like their hearing aids. But you have to remember, people who do not like their hearing aids, they are the loudest ones out of everybody. They are the ones who are going to be screaming from the rooftop, hey, I tried hearing aids and they didn't work for me, so they probably won't work for you too. And that could not be further from the truth. You just have to know what to look for when it comes to hearing aids. You should know by now, if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, that the hearing aids are important, but they are nowhere even close to as important as the hearing care professional that you go to, and if that hearing care professional follows Audiologic Best Practices. Now, I just got back from a private practice conference here just yesterday, and I can tell you this, that the group of individuals that I hang out with, and I'm talking hearing care professionals that I hang out with, the vast majority of them are die-hard just like me. They care about best practices. They care about optimal treatment outcomes. They are not caring about what they can do to nickel and dime their patients or to sell the next set of hearing aids to their patients. They care about their patients being really happy with their hearing treatment and putting a good name on the hearing care profession. And those are exactly the type of hearing care professionals that I like to attract into the Hearing Up Network so I can make sure that you guys can find them and have a great experience. But I want to hear from you. Is your story a lot like Mark's story, where you were struggling with your hearing aids, but you got things turned around by going to a Hearing Up Network member or any other hearing care professional who follows best practices? Let me know down in the comment section, and I'll see you guys next week.